Hey folks, welcome to yet another stream. Hard to believe that we're already streaming again, but I made some adjustments to my setup and I just had to make another stream. Yesterday I saved this little cutie from during my desoldering orgy, and I wanted to desolder it today and also talk about improvements that I have done to my streaming setup. Yesterday was the first stream with my new setup. I was very happy with the quality, especially sound quality has really improved, and the visual quality has also improved. Maybe it's not that obvious, but one thing that was made it quite obvious when I was rewatching the video once YouTube finished processing it was this desk mat is actually the color you see on the new streams. It isn't the color that you see in the old streams. It's not an even light gray. It's a bit yellowed around this area here. So I say the new camera setup is a bit more honest. The new sound setup should be much better. Even though I didn't quite make the step up in audio and video quality that I was expecting. Let me start this soldering while I ramble. This board unfortunately has to die because I want to do something better with the PCB. So I will be really careful to save the PCB. I will be okay, so my biggest, let's say, complaint that I personally had after the video yesterday was the illumination of my desk, the reflections I was getting, especially the reflections I was getting from stuff that was just sitting flat on my desk. Because I was putting some white PCBs on my desk like this, and they were getting very strong reflections, like this. Oh yeah, they got a little angle now. I had a very nice LED panel installed right above my camera, like right above my desk. And I kind of moved this LED panel back a little bit, and you can see that I moved it a little bit because when I tilt this PCB backwards, we are going to catch the panel. See, this is the panel. I get the reflections from the panel now when I tilt backwards a bit, but when I put it just flat on the desk, there's very little reflection, and you can read the silk screen on the PCB quite well, which is really something I fought for. Oh, I'm seeing some people. First person in chat. Hi, WizBlue. Said WizBlue. I love that the chat is now part of the video when you rewatch live streams. It was really irritating that the chat during live streams was pretty much gone once the video ended, especially if you were reacting to stuff that happened in the chat. I've also adjusted the volume of the audio a little bit. It should be a tiny bit louder than before. I hope that's appreciated, because I felt that compared to my old videos, the audio in my voice wasn't very loud on the new videos. So I added a little bit of volume there. I also changed the mount of the camera. The camera mount is a bit more solid now. I can touch it, but it's gonna stop bouncing much faster than it did in the old setup. That's because I've gone for a much more stable mounting of the camera. It's actually nothing big, but I added an additional resting point on which the arm rests on, that the camera is attached to, and that actually helps debounce the camera a lot. Oh, that's the compressor that I use for this desoldering machine. I bet it's really nice on the new audio. I bet it's like standing right next to it. So yeah, I'm still looking for feedback on the audio and video quality. If you're watching this stream, or if you're watching this as a video, as a recording, and you have anything to say about the audio or the video, any kind of improvements, then please write in the chat or leave a comment. This is the first time. This is the first time I'm desoldering a PCB. Well, it's not actually the first time, but this is the PCB I want to not break the most out of all the PCBs that I've desoldered before. So I'm trying to be extra clean here. And another big disappointment today is the fact that the remote that I wanted to use to zoom the camera, it doesn't support the zoom. It seems like the Sony a6000, which is a DSLR-like mirrorless camera with a changeable lenses. Well, let me show you something. Give me a second. Oh, here it is. See, guys, this is the camera that's that I'm using, the a6000 super cute machine with the standard consumer zoom. So it happens to have a lens that has something called power zoom. So It's got like an electric zoom, unlike most other DSLR cameras, where you just twist the lens in order to adjust the zoom, and the camera will just autofocus. This particular lens actually has an electronically controlled zoom. So what happens is, or what happened is, like, these lenses were also suitable or used in the very high-end Sony camcorders. So you can get some $1,000 and more camcorders from Sony, where you can actually use these lenses as camcorder lenses. I mean, that's pretty amazing, because you're pretty much using like well, I'm pretty sure that people who work with that kind of stuff, they're not amazed, but yeah, it was pretty fun. So Sony is making these lenses not only for cameras but also for high-end camcorders. And high-end camcorders, of course, they have to have an electronic zoom, because you want to use these little plus minus buttons on your camcorder to zoom in. So that's why this is a camera that doesn't really know how to zoom, but it has a lens that knows how to zoom. I bought the little remote. The remote has a plus minus button with a little magnifying glass, so it wants to zoom. I can take pictures, I can change modes and stuff, but I cannot zoom. When I hit the zoom buttons, nothing happens. That was, on one hand, this was a big disappointment for me, because this is something that I thought would be really fun. On the other hand, I realized that this gives me a much greater choice in lenses for this camera, because I now have to get over it that I will not be getting a remote controlled zoom. Instead, I'm going to have to reach up to the camera and zoom in like this. That's what I'm actually going to do, because I can zoom in with the camera, and you can have a closer look at my amazing desoldering skills. My desoldering skills consist of buying an expensive desoldering machine, finding out it works with a compressor, running to the hardware store, getting a compressor, setting up the compressor and stuff, heating it up, and putting it here, waiting, desoldering. Yeah, see, that's a true skill. I went to desoldering school for that. So yeah, since I found out that the whole zoom thing isn't going to happen, I even connected the camera to my streaming machine via USB and downloaded the Sony remote control application. Then I downloaded the other Sony remote application, because there's two. Okay guys, sorry for doing this, but I have to change the exposure compensation again. Okay, I felt like the picture was a bit overexposed. It's still all a bit beta. Yeah. So yeah, now that I found out that I won't be using any nice electric zoom lenses, I can look for much cheaper lenses that don't have this so-called power zoom, even though power zoom is such a nice word, and find a nice lens with a nice focus distance for a lot less than I was afraid I was going to spend one day. Yeah. I have to say it was really fun zooming in here. That's a whole new experience for me, like adjusting the zoom for what I'm currently doing. Like we're doing 60% boards. A little bit of zoom isn't gonna hurt. Oh, some more people in the chat. Hi, hi Faxe. You've seen this. Faxe has been over at my place on the 30th of June. We had like a little, very spontaneous mini workshop meetup of a couple of German dudes, like really, literally less than a handful. But it was really fun. I've always been dreaming of something, some like keyboard events. Like of course the German keyboard meetup is just amazing, and I'm super happy that it exists. But it's a huge meetup. There's a ton of people. There's Cherry, there's GMK, there's other people presenting their projects. There's tons of people from the community I wanted to talk to. So much stuff going on that you hardly get a chance to really have a conversation with someone. So I was always dreaming of a smaller, more workshop related meetup. And I thought, well, it's not gonna, like, this is not gonna happen by itself. So I just asked a few guys if they wanted to come over and just do a, I don't know, 5 people keyboard meetup. And that's what we did. So guys, let me know what you think about the exposure. This is a black PCB, and I think it's nice and contrasty and not too glossy. You can see like this is the kind of reflection we were getting previously before I moved my headlights. No, not headlights, ceiling lights. I'm giving every pad an extra long time to heat up, because these are pads with vias, so they go really deep. They go all the way through to the other side of the PCB, and they have a very high thermal mass usually. And I want to make sure that the solder is nice and liquid all the way through the pad, all the way through the via, before I suck it out. Because if I suck it out too early, then little leftovers of solder might still be not quite molten enough and remain in there somewhere deep inside the via. And that's just super annoying, because in order to properly transfer enough heat to this little remaining bit of solder, you either have to apply, you either have to heat up the pad and the pin really long and make sure that it really heats up, which is, I don't think, very good for the components. Or you can grab your solder and add more solder to fill the via again, fill the pad again, and then suck it all out together with the leftover from the first failed attempt. So yeah, this is definitely a well-made PCB, high thermal mass for all the pads. So I want to make sure that I put in enough heat. I think this is also one of the fanciest 60% PCBs because it supports stuff like Bluetooth and connecting a lithium polymer battery for Bluetooth, of course. So it's always been a very popular PCB among the hardcore nerds, I guess, because it's the NerD60. Oh. Oh wow, I can zoom out further than I thought I could. That's pretty nice. I might actually be able to move the camera a bit then. Ah, here it is. Whoa. There was a lot of solder in there. Clean this one up again. I think all the flux the flux really messes up the flux really messes up the desoldering machine. The more flux you have to deal with, the more wear you are going to have on your desoldering setup. So make sure you clean up. Okay. Okay, let's see how good of a job we've done with the desoldering. Hey Elton, don't tell me you're the Elton. Thanks for leaving your chat message. I do have these the Tribosis loop, but I haven't given it a test ride yet. It's a brush on loop, so this definitely means I have to invest a little more time into applying the loop, and there's also a lot more. Well, since the brush on loops are generally have a higher viscosity, if you don't apply them really well, they are gonna grease up the switch. So in order to give this tribosis a real try, I will definitely have to invest some time into properly applying it and really brushing the sliders with the lube. So I'm not sure when this is going to happen, but it's definitely on my list. Very curious. Oh no! Oh, no worries, Elton. I wasn't talking about Elton John. There's another Elton in the community who is who's a much bigger hero to me. Oh, sorry. When I start fiddling around here, I should be zooming out again, right? Nah, no pants. Here we go. It's a nice angle. And I thought I put in extra effort. There's my forehead again, in case you missed it. Okay, that went well. That went well. Oh, come on, give me a few good ones now. Shit. Yeah, it's these. Okay, let's try and make this work. You can see this switch here. Can you see, like on the left side of the leg, there's a tiny bit of solder that still connects it to the pin. That's what's breaking my back. Stupid little switch. Okay. You got to be kidding me. How much do I suck at desoldering? I'm such a disgrace. Oh, there we go. Okay, much better. Yeah, I went to the solder school, but I didn't graduate, okay? You wanted to know. Holy shit! Okay. Makes me wish I could go and desolder a nice G80. These are like the low-hanging fruits of desolder success. Wow, this key is really edgy. Okay, I think I have it now. Did I say that before? Oh! Yeah, you're technically right. I should be adding new solder. This one probably as well. Such basic stuff. I remember the keyboard dude, Oblotsky. He, like, the last time he was here, he was like desoldering and resoldering customs non-stop. I really wonder how he did this. Did he really have the patience to like desolder these boards properly? Man. Okay. No. I actually messed up the floppy leg of the I actually messed up the thin leg of the that one switch, the space bar. Yeah, it really pays off to do your first desoldering pass thoroughly, rather than having to go through all of these pins again, potentially having to add solder. This was actually just a demonstration of how of why not to rush desoldering high thermal mass boards and boards that you are not trying not to wreck. Oh my god, I'm running out of solder. I'm running out of solder. Wing, 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 wing. There's more solder, don't worry. Okay, this blade, go to hell. Trash pile. This PCB. Oh yeah, it's the Leandrin edition from one of his rounds that he did. He did these round group buys before he had a shop. So you know, this is the old desk light. This is flat on the table. This is the light behind me. This is my face. You can actually, it's my head. I've got a nice little light behind me. Yeah. I hope you're not too bored by this stream. This is just something I wanted to do to get my new lighting setup out there. It's 10 o'clock now, and I'm gonna hit the hay. Thanks very much for watching, people. Oh, thanks very much for watching, guys. It's been a real pleasure, and yeah, please, if you find anything improvement worthy of the stream other than the content, please let me know in the comments. Yep. Thanks for watching.